What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 122, being recorded on August 9th, 2021. I am your host, Darth Moocher. I'm joined here with Scott Solo.
What's up, nerds?
Got Grand Admiral Franz.
Hey, hey.
And that's it. This is the group you're stuck with tonight. The other guys, of course, unfortunately, have other plans or busy as usual. So, but we will get right into it. For right now, we've got some Patreons to shout out. We got our pit to shout out. So with that, Scott.
All right, we want to go ahead and say a big thank you to Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine, Gavin Connor from the Holy Hour podcast, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast on the Red 5 Network, Crystal Lamphere, Brandon and Anya Epler, and AJ from the Forbidden Panel. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Contributing.
And Vanilla Thunder's birthday was yesterday. He just turned 20. So
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Oh,
that's
James.
really cool. I love it. I love the name. That Vanilla Thunder is like
Thunder's
a perfect name, especially like a gamer tag or something like that.
It suits him.
Yeah. Again, in our pit is in here. We're being digested. So who's in here with us?
We've got Cliff, we've got Douglas Tupper, Santo 1414, Mando Mike is in there, Gavin Connor, and we've got some other folks that just haven't piped up yet. So
awesome.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pitt. Thank you very much, you guys, for showing up. We got some Star Wars to talk about. Before we get into all that stuff, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and share it with all your friends because we want to build this community up tremendously. This is going to be your home for all Star Wars stuff. We filter out all that other stuff that's out there. We're very aware of it, what's out there, and we do kind of bring in some things that are worth talking that you will get also. So.
Even if it's not worth talking about, we'll make it worth talking about.
Yeah. If it's something that's piques our interest, or if it's completely left field, we'll still talk about it, right?
Right, just for fun.
Speaking of completely left field, I kind of want to bring this up early because I feel, we all knew that Disney was working on a Star Wars themed hotel in Florida, correct? Like we all knew that, and at the beginning rumblings, we knew it was going to be for like this ultra experience, this 4-day or I don't know how many days. It's like this thing that they trap you inside and you cannot leave, but it's a complete immersion, meaning Star Wars creatures, Star Wars food, the talk that you are living it. It's almost like being in a movie yourself, right? But so they came out and said, hey guys, we're almost done with this, I guess, for like a next year launch, and a family of 4 or whatever, it's gonna be like a $6,000 price tag for this, experience.
What the hell?
Wow.
And I know for a lot of people, I'm thinking like it might as well be $1 million, man. Like,
might as well put it on the moon.
Yeah,
be in space.
Okay, it's a whole. I just have a hard time justifying. I've never been on a cruise, so I don't know if this is the same. They're considering it almost like a cruise ship where you got other things to do, but
a lot cheaper cruises than that.
Yeah, so
seriously. You
have a bar, a hotel, a room, and I don't know what else it's offering for that $6,000 price tag. I don't. There's no casino there. There's no pool. There's
no casino.
I don't think so.
If there's no Canto Bite in there, what's the point?
Yeah, no, like cruise ships have casino, all that stuff.
It should.
I just can't. I just don't understand the $6,000 thing. And anybody in a pit, I mean, would that be something you?
I think they did some market research, but they started with hookers getting hourly rates, and then they times that by 72 hours for the 3 days. Yeah, and then boom, we end up with $1 bajillion.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Because
we're all getting effed right there.
Yeah, like Cliff said, what does read the room mean, Disney exec? I just want to know what they're thinking of, who they're trying to attract on this, because I just don't think the accommodations justify that amount of money, because you're not going to a resort, you're not going to a theme park. If they told us a family of 4 can go to Walt Disney World for $6,000 all inclusive, that might be something that you might want to do every lifetime, right? To take a family, because honestly, that's probably how much it costs anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure this does not include the theme park tickets, right?
No, you are trapped. Basically, you're locked inside the building.
Well, yeah, you get there, you're on Earth, you board the Galactic Star Cruiser, and then when you leave, you depart on Batuu.
Yeah,
that's the point.
You know what? I did hear. You're right. I did hear there is a shuttle or something that takes you to Batu, and I guess from there you can, I guess, go to Disneyland.
Okay, then that's a little different.
Okay,
that's okay. Then you could escape.
Yeah,
but it is like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
So we're not as trapped as it feels there. Okay,
right,
so that's different. I was like,
I
no,
read
if
that
I'm gonna
today
be
too.
if I'm gonna be stuck in a hotel, I would need a casino, a lot of bars, open bar for that much money.
Pool,
right? I mean, pool and some kind of rides or amusement in there. You need laser tags and all sorts of crap.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, I mean, they did show the
you
restaurant.
know, like they do the trainings with like the dark forces, the soldiers and stuff, the droids. They should do that kind of thing, and that'd be cool. Then you can do like a laser tag.
Yeah. I mean,
cool.
they did show the whole restaurant where it's a 360-degree like
you're in hyperspace.
Well, you monitor or TVs, right? That you can see things. I mean, I'm sure it's a great experience. Honestly, I'm sure it is. But for me, as us uber Star Wars fans,
okay,
I'll pass.
Here's some details about it.
All
right. See it, feel it, live it. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser is a revolutionary new 2-night experience. My cat is freaking the hell out. So
for that much money, it was 2 nights. We were trying to divide it up over more.
I was trying to be generous and be like 4 nights. Yeah, all right.
2-night experience where you are the hero. You and your group will embark on a first-of-its-kind Star Wars adventure that's your own. It's the most immersive Star Wars story ever created, one where you live a bespoke experience and journey further into the Star Wars adventure than you ever dreamed possible. Arrive at Walt Disney World Resort Terminal, board a launch pod, and rendezvous with the magnificent Halcyon Star Cruiser. Stay in a cabin or suite with an exquisite view of space. Throughout the ship, you'll interact with an eclectic collection of characters, sit down to exotic galactic cuisine, and perhaps even plot a secret mission together. As the itinerary continues, you'll take the story further and deeper. Hey, now, choose your path, seek out the inner workings of the legendary starship, learn the traditional art of wielding a lightsaber, and even jump on a transport to the planet Batu, where your mission continues at Galaxy's Edge.
If we get prizes in the rooms like a lightsaber, and you get to go to things like that. I mean,
I gotta tell you something though. This is something that I would like to go with you guys, not my wife.
Right.
Okay. I don't see anybody's significant other unless they're in this pit or whatever.
You've met my wife, right?
Well, Julie would have fun, but I think I don't know if Julie is expecting to go on that kind of adventure where there is for 2 days now. You are living, because the thing is, you're going to be seen as very vulnerable. I mean, this is geekdom at its finest, right? Like, this is RPing, this is LARPing at its finest. And to do this, to pay that amount of money, that's what I want to do. So I don't know about taking my family there because I was like, you guys are not in my fantasy right now. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
This is why I'm single too. So. Right,
hear
Mike?
That, ladies? He's
right,
available.
Mando? Right, Mando, Mike? You and I will go, buddy.
Whoa, this is getting really weird.
Hey, man.
A little awkward.
It got a little weird there. Yeah,
it is 2021.
But it's 2021.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? We have to go that route. One of us has to be, right? So it might as well be you. One of us
might as well.
Hey, you know what?
Might as well.
All right. I mean,
not
I guess
that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, right.
No, but you got to take one for the team.
On paper, okay. Real life is a way different situation.
Mando Moocher. That's their name.
All right.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Okay, we're done. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna close the show or no. But anyway, that price tag and that amount of stuff, it's like it sounds cool, but it's almost like an unreachable feat. That would be awesome to do, but I don't know, Disney.
It's
man.
per person, right?
No, I think that 6,000 is in a family of 4 for 6. It comes up to like $2,000 or $1,500 a piece. Something like that.
For 48 hours too. They went to the expensive hookers too. They wasn't even the cheapest. They got a pricey one.
So you get to experience new and familiar characters. You get to wield the lightsaber against remote training devices. You get to explore the bridge.
We would love to do.
Yeah. Explore the bridge and operate the ship's systems and controls. Take an exclusive transport to the planet Batu. We already went over that. Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, you could even discover the inner workings of the ship in the engineering room.
Oh,
I know. Isn't that a thrill?
so I can walk around the thing and then come out and be like, I
Yes.
saw the engineering.
Press
Like in the
a
Falcon.
button.
Right.
Press a button. Yeah.
Maybe. Most
Yeah.
You probably
most of it
will.
are probably
I mean,
hard. You press a couple buttons.
because
Yeah,
you're not really flying in space, so you can probably jack things up big time.
I know. Everybody's got. I think there was one comment said, "This is not really a spaceship. Calm down." Like that was one of those things. Like it's not a real spaceship, guys.
Yeah.
It's a building. But anyway, it
Does
sounds
the whole
cool.
building move?
No,
Like, can they make it vibrate? That'd be dope.
that'd be
Like, if it had
cool.
You
turbulence
know
and
what?
stuff.
You know what? Maybe because they did say the pod that you are going to be taken from the entrance to the ship is an actual simulator that almost like Rise of Resistance is like that first part where it's you're on the shuttle and it has that little bit of movement. So I'm sure it has that.
Like if we're on
technology.
a Star Cruiser and I'm in my room and I'm looking out and all of a sudden the room starts vibrating because something comes blasting by me and there's some kind of dog fight going on.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
Then it changes the story. If I'm just looking at space like our background on our screen here,
right,
Yeah.
right.
then it's nothing.
No.
It was just a bunch
You
of
know
white
what?
stars. If you get stuff coming through,
Yeah,
That's
as more
awesome.
details come through, and the more we talk about it, the more I'm getting excited. So I got to stop because I just contradicting everything I just said.
yeah,
Everything I just said, I'm contradicting it. You know, so I'm like,
No, it's nothing we can say about
6,000.
how cool overcomes the price for
Yeah.
2 nights. It's just
Yeah.
not. It was dumb at 3 nights.
yeah,
You know, it's ridiculous.
I
at
like
2.
the fact that this is existing. I do. I'm disappointed in the fact that I'll probably never be able to experience it.
We'll have to win some kind of crazy trip on the radio or TV
Yeah.
or something, and we'll be, oh yay!
It's such a high dollar amount that I don't see. I mean, are there that many wealthy people that can just drop this kind of money and go
Yeah.
on a
Yes.
whim? I mean,
At first, yeah. They
I'm
will.
not highlighting that comment, Mike. I'm not doing it. Don't
you
make
better
me
do
highlight-
it. Do it. Come on. This is
Yeah,
okay.
Okay,
there's
I'll
no
do
way
it. Marco and me will vibrate the same conversation. Yes.
Mike's been single for a while too, apparently.
Yeah. So- All right, cool. So with that, Disney also, we mentioned last week that the Disneyland passes are coming back. So they are back. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. That's Ernie's thing, and that's like how we do Disney. But all the details are up. August 25th is when you can purchase your passes, and that's when Disneyland will be open to all pass holders. So it's sooner than later. I thought it was going to be at the end of the year. All the details are online. I am getting one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go as often because it's a whole reservation system, but I honestly just can't wait. I can't wait.
It's
You
it's
basically
pretty
gotta
much
get your 2 a month, right?
No,
you gotta get your
no.
2 a month.
No.
No, I mean,
So-
for you, I know that you can. I get it, but you can do 6 in 1 month, but you can't
No.
go for another 90 days.
No, I read that whole wrong. So the
Oh.
reservation system, you can go every single day, but you are only allowed 6 reservations 90 days in advance. So so if you make 6 reservations and you use one, well, you have one available to use it that next day. So on paper, if you really wanted to go every day, availability,
You
can go every day. Correct. Yeah, I read that wrong when we discussed it. I thought it was that 6 reservations for a 90-day period. I just like way off, but no, it's 6 up to a 90 days in advance. You can make those 6 reservations.
So then
for
those
that.
really are probably better rates than for the lower passes.
Yeah, it is.
The low one's kind of gnarly because there's no weekends, right?
yeah.
But
Correct.
the second one up seems pretty reasonable for what it was.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
4 passes that they offer are actually cheaper than the last.
We weren't
ones.
going to get into this, but here we go.
Yeah, I know.
getting into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Buckle
Just real
up,
fast.
everybody.
The lowest pass is $19 a month. The second
Yeah.
one is $40. The third highest is $68, and the highest one is $102.
Yeah.
So,
if you're by yourself or a family or versus a family of 4 or 5, it's depending on what you're
Yeah.
going to do, right? Usually, I think that second one, the 40, looking at it, where I just glanced at it, seemed pretty decent.
Dude, there
Still
are
not
some.
doing it, but
Yeah. If you get the $19 one, all you have to do is go once a quarter, dude. You're set.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, because there is a deposit there's a $179 deposit. So go the day you're going to buy your pass to kind of justify that entry.
Disneyland,
So,
Disneyland
is that
for
for all of them?
years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then why would you even ever do a monthly on the 19? Oh, it's 179 plus the 19 a month. I'm like, why wouldn't you just pay 190 or 200 whatever and be done with
Yeah.
it?
No.
Because it's on top of.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Gotcha,
It's always a
gotcha.
deposit and then 19 a month for a year. Yeah.
Is it a
Disney has been
refundable?
What's that?
Scott, is it a refundable deposit? Do you
No.
anybody know?
no.
In fact, you cannot even get out of the year contract. So
So it's not really. So it's whatever the price you just said, plus
Yeah, so it's a
Okay.
$179 deposit, which gets you in that park that day. So smart thing is to do, go on a blackout day if you're going to get that pass. Then you have access to Disneyland, and then it's $19 a month on that one pass, or
All right.
102 or whatever it is. So
Fair
Now,
enough.
Disney has been looking for years at a way to limit the number of annual pass holders that can go in a day. So
Right.
this
And this is a way.
This is how they do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep.
More details on Disneyland.com. So if anybody's interested, you can go over there. And if Ernie was here, I'm sure he would have a whole show dedicated to that, on how we do Disney. But I'm expecting to see everybody at Disneyland for our Saber meetup. So,
Yes.
all right, cool. Yeah, we do have Bad Batch to talk about too. So everybody stick with us because this is going to be a good one. It's got one more thing to go over is that Lego on Disney Plus, that Rest in Pieces, advertising a Halloween show, I guess, coming to Disney Plus. What's interesting is everything that's coming to Disney Plus that's sequel related has always been Lego. The holiday thing, the Christmas holiday thing they do. All those mini adventures are mostly sequel content. Sequel movie, and this one is no different. I guess it follows Poe Dameron at the what do you say, Scott? The end of Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, it's right after the events of Rise of Skywalker. So the galaxy is free, and he's on vacation.
Yeah, and it's a Halloween type series or episode or special edition or whatever, which I'm cool with because, again, they're Legos. It's fun. But it just seems to me, remember what I was telling you when that slate dropped for Disney Plus? I'm like, there's nothing here that's sequel. Nothing. There's not even like a Poe Dameron series or a cartoon or nothing. Not even, I'm sure the Visions, probably not one sequel thing. And that's telling, right? That's a very telling sign that,
Well, for the adults, more the adult side, but when you go to the Lego side, which is more the kid-friendly, right, the kiddiest-friendly thing, it's all sequel because you want to keep those characters in their minds as they grow up. This is their generation, right? The younger, it's theirs. The sequel kids,
I think that was Disney's plan,
now.
right? That was their plan on paper. I don't know. I talked to Cliff about this too, and because he's got younger kids, and he tells me like they're just not as interested. They think it's cool, but not as cool.
It's
like
not life changing like it was for us.
Right. And I always argued that Star Wars might be a generational thing that it could die.
And there's
with
too
us,
much negativity around it now with social media.
Yeah.
But to get into let anybody like fresh, like a kid, get into it, and notice that kind of stuff. Like, oh, why would I get into this crap fest?
Right. But I still think it's cool though. Keep it alive in the Lego land. That's cool with me too, man.
No, I dig it. Now I'm hoping, Kevin Scott a while ago, it just hit me right now. He said he was working on a different project for something, and I thought it was leaning towards Disney Plus. And we know he's a horror freak. I haven't seen anything yet. Maybe he's involved. They haven't announced anything.
No, it was just
bet
a
you
teaser thing.
Yeah, I bet you he does a lot of stuff.
The Lego stuff, though, is so silly. Even if it's Halloween, it's not going to be straight up horror. I think.
No, but he's goofy too, and he would do anything around that realm.
Yeah.
And he works kids' books and things too.
That'd be interesting.
He does a lot of work. So
if he's
got
involved,
more
that'd be
play in
interesting.
there.
Yeah.
He's been involved on the TV before with the game show, right? With the he was a writer on that. You just need somebody to write a quick little goofy story,
right,
for the Lego.
The little bit of casting rumor news though that dropped with that is I find very fascinating, and that is Christian Slater is going to play Ren, Ren is a character from the Rise of Kylo Ren comic. That's a really cool little bit of casting right there, I think.
Christian Slater I haven't seen him do anything, and
Mr. Robot. He was Mr. Robot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To lend his voice to a Star Wars project, I'm down, man.
I'm in.
Christian Slater's awesome.
He's a great little young version of Jack Nicholson.
Well, I think the more interesting thing to me is that we're talking about Ren, who died before the prequel. So or sequel. Right. So what's going on really? Are we gonna
get some
time travel again?
Some content on the Rens? And
I did like the time travel. I forgot what it was, the Christmas one. Now I did the time travel thing. That was cute. It was fun. It was silly. It was neat. I hope this is kind of the same. It'll be the same kind of thing. I don't know if it'll be time travel again. It's kind of weird to keep going world between worlds.
And it's not said that it's a series or anything or a one-off or whatever.
No, it'll be a one-off. It'll be like a yearly thing, like a Simpsons Christmas and the Simpsons Halloween, and I bet you they do shit like that, stuff like that. I'm allowed many of those, right?
Nice.
Like 14 shits. I'm good.
Welcome, Lunar Girl, in our chat or in our pit. Sorry. Welcome to coming in and saying hi.
And we've also got the Scarif Scuttlebutt using the other
What's up, bro?
universe. You want to highlight that one?
Okay, let's see. Slater's mom is a casting director who was responsible for having him. Yeah, okay, whatever. No, I'm kidding. In Star Trek. Yeah,
that's the reaction.
Maybe I should have read it before I highlighted it.
Don't listen to Scott anymore.
Spontaneous. Yeah, don't listen. Note to self. Well, no, cool, man. Again, Christian Slater. As a Star Wars universe, we welcome Christian Slaters, into our fold. There's not many actors that there's a lot of. We've talked about this too, about actors coming into Star Wars, and sometimes it just doesn't feel right. And I have my list of like Tom Cruise. It just doesn't feel right.
Christian Slater, though. I mean, Arkansas Dave Rudabaugh there, and in the Star Wars universe, I'll take it. That's cool.
He could have worked in. Now you say
Young
that
Guns
I would
too.
taken him in Mandalorian. That's about it. He could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been it. I couldn't see him anywhere else. No, I'll take him in a Lego movie and be cool with it.
Yeah. Awesome. No,
That's
that'd be
funny.
so cool. Yeah, I want to watch Young Guns too now. Thank you.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Gonna go ahead.
Come on over. I just got it on Blu-ray. I'm so excited.
Well, how about Young Guns marathon?
Yes,
all two.
Yes,
all two. You got it. Watch the set.
They're working on a third one right now. I'm like, they're not so young anymore, man. Are we just calling it Guns now, or what?
They're really just having us. They're just going for our money. It's all it's our money.
That's true. Am I going to see it?
Gun.
Probably.
Oh, hell yeah. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Oh my God. Young Guns 3 without.
Where do you
Billy
go
the
from
Kid?
there?
Without Billy the Kid? Was it going to be a prequel?
Or don't even call it
They're
that.
saying that he is going to be in it. It's going to follow that old man. The old man.
Do you have scars? You're tasking me if I have scars.
Yeah, how's it going over there? That's dumb.
I don't know, but we'll see, because we will see it.
Oh my God. Yeah, of course. All right, guys. Everybody's in here to talk about The Bad Batch, the latest episode that dropped, which was episode 15. We got one more dropping this.
Boy, did we get the name of that episode wrong.
Yeah, we did. The
we
Return
knew it
to
was
Kamino.
happening. We just didn't think it would be cheesy enough to be Return to Kamino.
If we got that
simple enough.
I mean, our theories would be like, it's set in stone. It's done. Return to Kamino.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going back full circle here. And that's what this episode did. It went back full circle from the first episode. And then going into our theories, except maybe for Crosshair. We'll get into Crosshair in a minute.
Yeah.
But we did call Kamino.
Yep.
And we actually...
Just like that, the orbital bombardment.
Yeah, we actually said, this needs to happen. Right?
Yeah.
We were like, Kamino needs to be destroyed because the clone technology needs to be either captured by the Empire, which they did. Tarkin and Rampart were like, now the cloning technology is in our possession. Nobody else has it. Or destroyed altogether. But so we got that answered.
Yep.
Which was awesome.
I like the fact that the cloning capabilities are now in the hands of Palpatine. So it's again, we're looking to the future here. We're setting up the cloning of in the future.
Right.
But there was a lot of things in this episode that were kind of like you had said, the crosshairs thing. I'm like, wait. I'm interested to see where you guys.
I was really happy about the episode in general. It was good. It was quick. Had a lot of things going on. We got to see Kamino blast, and that's all we really wanted.
Amazing.
But to have to know the clones are gone, they didn't go kill the clones off, right? So we're not there yet.
Right.
They
the ones
that
them. Mattered.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Like
Scarif Scuttlebutt said, loved it. We need more high stakes. I agree. That's 100%. What we were missing. The last 12 episodes, that's what was missing. The high stakes and that whole thing. The fleeting mention of Gregor's with Sid. Okay, because I'm like, where's Gregor in this whole thing? And that when I watched it the second time, it's like Gregor's with Sid and Sid's not happy about that. I'm like, okay, I understand because Gregor has to go back to Rex. So, but it was kind of like they made a pit stop, dropped Gregor off, went back and now they're trying. Okay, but again, that whole remember last week
Gregor would have let him go to Kamino without him.
Yeah.
They just saved him. He would have gone with it. It's just that's so wild.
Well, that whole thing about Rex and the fleet or the rebels saving the day at the end, that was like boom, done. Not happening. Of course, and again with that fleeting mention of what they did with Gregor and with Sid and stuff. But now,
no, I like the fact here that Omega. They're talking about the Omega's deal with the Bad Batch right now, right?
Yeah.
She's older than the Bad Batch.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
wild, right? So here I am always thinking about this bratty little kid.
Correct.
She's older than those guys.
Yeah.
I know they mature faster, whatever they do, but
Right. Accelerated growth.
she's got
Just like
seniority.
Cliff pointed out, the whole Omega was there when the Bad Batch was born. And to call that out, like, this is where you guys were born.
Yeah.
And I was there to see it. And I thought that was cool. But her, like, what did they do? I'm really curious on what did they really do to her? You know what I mean? Like, did they experiment on her? Because she is, like, really torn not to go back and very, very hesitant and be like, I don't want to talk about it, but we're here to save Hunter. But this is where you guys were born, as a secret lab, whatever. And
well, they probably
they weren't defective either. She made sure they knew they weren't defective.
Enhanced.
They were enhanced specifically.
Yeah.
And she reiterated that, which was really cool.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. I mean, they touched on it, and again, they just kind of like, maybe that's a story for another time, right? Like, where is that dramatic? Omega has like this dramatic backstory that we haven't gotten into yet, that they're trying to set up for season 2. I don't know, because she didn't look that sad to be leaving. She didn't want to leave Kamino at the first place in episode 1. And
she didn't know any different, but when she got out, she was like, "Oh, look at everything, like
freedom
Rey and all the green and all this stuff." But yeah, she didn't seem bad with Nala Se.
Yeah,
at all.
She had freedom then.
I'm excited to see Nala Se. I think we talked about this before. And get the first Snoke clone. I want to see her working with Palpatine somewhere in that kind of an Imperial facility.
Yes. So going back in the whole overall arcing story and everything, because I even saw this on, I don't know if it was StarWars.com or whatever, but they had revisited Palpatine's contingency plan. And his contingency plan was Operation Cinder.
Right.
Plus the clone bodies, plus what happens to him when he dies. And the Aftermath books do a whole thing on this. Is the whole basic premise of the Aftermath books. The Emperor dies. What is he set in motion for his thing? And they're like, get a new Emperor? He's all, no, you get a new Empire that will protect the Emperor, like the chess game. You redo the soldiers to protect the Emperor. So this is all.
You were too weak to protect me. We got to start over from scratch.
Correct, and that's why you have bigger walkers, bigger Death Stars. Whatever.
Right.
Whatever that the First Order was doing. It kind of like, again, agree with or not or whatever. It just makes sense in the contingency plan. And I thought that was kind of cool timing. That I think it was StarWars.com that put that article back in there to revisit that. And then you're right. Nala Se was taken. As all the main, he said all the scientists were taken off Kamino, all the major players, all the important people, and probably in one of the saddest scenes in this episode was the moment before the bombardment hit, and you saw everything empty, the empty canisters, the empty barracks, and that music that was playing. I was like, oh man, like
What happened to the kids in the tubes and the young? Where did those guys go?
It was said that everybody
like
was
dead goldfish.
Sent off world, right? And that whole thing, but just that barren, like as excited as I was as we talk about how like destroy Kamino and all that stuff. Those moments of like levity or whatever it is, like that, where he's like, oh wow, it's happening. The whole facility's empty. It's barren. It's spooky.
We've seen that thing packed with thousands or millions, even really, or tens of thousands at least.
I mean,
Clones,
it was a hub,
first
dude.
saw it. Yeah.
And
all throughout Clone Wars and everything else, it's always been
right.
Traffic and people and stuff. Yeah, you're right. A hub.
It was a pivotal.
The home of all
their
the
home. Exactly.
Absolutely. And to see that, and then of course we got the bombardment of the city, and it was fantastic. It was brilliant, and that's how it left off with the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
And Crosshair trapped, and like cliffhanger for the.
Now, how about this part? How about a setup with the clones, right? Because I keep talking Mace Windu and stuff. What if this is the point? They're not setting up for Snoke and Palpatine yet. They're setting up for Heir to the Empire piece for the Ahsoka series.
It works.
They're going back and forth, right? We met Fennec from Mandalorian, so let's go ahead and do it this way. Let's set up the end of this to set up that series, so now we can see a clone Jedi. It works.
100%. 100%. And again, it's going to start answering what the Mandalorian started with Dr. Pershing and Grogu, and and it's just going to carry over. And remember that saying that every series in Disney and the movie is going to have this underlining plot line.
Yeah,
the Mando ones, the post return ones, yes.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking like this might be another ongoing thing. That whole building of the Snokes and the Emperors, because he's alive in here, but he's like, hey, in case my death, I need to preserve my consciousness into body and all that stuff. And
there's no getting out of it now. Clones are Star Wars.
Yeah,
every piece.
We know that the Empire has Luminara Unduli, right? They could start cloning. They could do their test runs on cloning Jedi, at least using her. Yeah, because they had her body in Rebels, so that's something they could mess around with.
Yeah, so Mando, Mike, so they destroyed that city and everything, but because of how they entered, what's the name of the city?
Tapoka City.
Thank you, Tapoka. I didn't want to say it wrong. Tapoka City.
Tapioca
City.
Tapioca pudding.
Because there was a secret landing platform, maybe there's still more secret. Maybe it's not completely destroyed because they only did an orbital bombardment of the city. So,
that is just one city, right? Like it is. Kamino is huge.
Right.
We always do that, right? Like all Star Wars stuff is like we're on.
I know, right?
It's just right here. If you destroy these trees, the Ewoks are all dead.
Yeah, they're all. Yeah,
you go anywhere, just one thing.
That's why I wanted him to boil the ocean. I was like, just raise the entire planet, just destroy it.
Yeah, it's easier that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So no, I thought it was very surreal episode. It was really cool. Let's get into Crosshair, man. Yeah. Okay, what a complicated character he's turning out to be. Interesting
Weird.
And complicated, right? So,
like Crosshair's cool. I like the character of Crosshair.
Oh yeah. I love his. He and Cad Bane are probably one of the coolest, smoothest characters out there right now. That have, like I said, their dialogue is awesome, their demeanor is awesome, their sound, they're just awesome. And Crosshair, at first, was like, okay, I'm gonna set this trap up, and I'm gonna get all these, the Bad Batch, and to turn them in and all that stuff. Now, and then he turned on
his troopers.
He
did turn on his troopers. He killed them.
He told them to stand down. They didn't, and he blasted them.
Yeah,
and that's what it ended up being. But
Crosshair has a purpose now, and in his mind, he had a purpose for this.
Yeah. So here's the weird thing: is I like where Crosshair is right now.
Yeah,
and I like where Crosshair was. I don't like that they connected him because I don't see how he got to the new Crosshair immediately. It's stupid to me. It's like I went from really hard ass Crosshair is going to F everybody up and shoot this and shoot that and do everything into. I'm going to give you a chance now and shoot these TKs.
First off, Crosshair's his issue. Okay, he has an issue.
Yeah,
he feels abandoned by the Bad Batch. And but he also believes in the spirit of the Empire. He believes in the hardcore Empire.
He thinks they should have come with him.
Right. So he's trying to recruit them for him. And like Hunter said, basically, if you're going to kill us, whatever. Crosshair says, if I wanted you dead, you would have been dead already. But leading up to this, he tried to kill them. I mean, he almost succeeded a few times in actually killing them. So what? I don't like Chris said. Where is that? It couldn't have been his motive the whole time because he was after them and trying to kill them with that whole engine burn. Remember? Yeah. And I forgot what episode it was. He almost succeeded and it backfired on him. And then Crosshair has this abandonment issue.
Is that what happened to his chip?
That's what I think so.
That's my other question.
I think so because Crosshair mentioned my chip was destroyed a long time ago, or I destroyed it. And at the end, when Hunter knocked him out, stunned him, right? He looked at his head, and always just was the burn part of his head. He was just kind of like, I guess he was maybe trying to find where the scar was.
Oh, you've seen it earlier, right? When he had his helmet off, you could see it. You notice it early in the show. I'm like, oh, he has a scar where the chip would be. That's weird. A little square deal in his head. And I'd never noticed it before. So
maybe that second time when we thought he was zapping his chip, maybe that second time, maybe that was the removal. I don't know.
Because they were shocking his chip. They were trying to get to strengthen his chip. Yeah. Was it even in there?
Exactly.
Yeah, right. They were just shocking his head.
Yeah.
But they were checking it. They were checking it. They had it on like a scanner.
You're right.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
There's a weird disconnect there. Yeah.
All in all, Mando Mike, yeah, you can't trust them, but we'll see. That's a perfect thing because
But I'm sure they'll tie it in. Sorry, I'm sure they'll tie it in.
Yeah.
This week. I'm trusting that because that was a big jump. They have to do it.
Yeah.
It'll make sense.
Let's see here. Douglas Tupper, where does the chip control start and personality end? Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question because Crosshair even admitted this was me the whole time. Basically, he's like, I don't need a chip.
Yeah.
And wasn't that something we were saying too at the beginning? I mean, just based on the Bad Batch episodes of the Clone Wars, it's like that dude's a psycho. There's something wrong with that dude.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And even Cliff said, next episode, I think they'll double check it, right? They want him to or return to Barca and whatever the planet was, Barca, where they had the chips to remove the first place. Check Crosshair for a chip, which, yeah, I mean,
well, they have the scanner; they can check it, right? Didn't Tech make one?
Yeah, he did.
They can look for it, so they can check him for a chip. Easy. They'll see he doesn't have one, then they'll figure out like what the hell is going on.
Yeah,
it's like what. Can we trust him? Can we not? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It just something didn't jive. I love I love both sides of his character.
Right.
I just don't like how it got.
We missed something, and I guess this is our biggest complaint with these side missions because now we come to a Crosshair that's like, wait a second, you weren't like that, and like Cliff said, he wasn't as bothered about the Empire in the first episode either. Republic Empire, it's all the same. And now it's like the Empire or bust, and now I want my brothers to join me. Where did that come from? Like
your brothers, you were just trying to murder the other day.
But Crosshair is such a soldier. He was ordered to eliminate them. Took the thing. I'm going to eliminate my brethren. Yeah. But then to go against orders and say, "Join me," right?
See, now there were times in this series where you guys have said that he looked like he was thinking about it twice.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it that way. I always saw hatred in his eyes, but maybe it was just they've been playing it the whole time, right in our face, and. I guess since I just saw him I wanted him just to be this total dick, right?
I think
so too. To be a
bad
villain.
Yeah.
I think it kind of bums me out because last week the Pit was talking about him being the beginning of the Death Troopers, which I still think should stand.
Well,
that'd be cool,
right? But, he has that vibe. He's we're the elite. We're the that's the total attitude that they would have.
There's still a chance because the way this episode ended, they had to stun Crosshair because he was about to.
They're stunning Hunter, everybody.
Yeah. Hunter and him were going for a showdown. I mean, they were about to draw guns on each other, and someone was going to die right then and there. So we were going to pick it up where Crosshair might still have that agenda and or survive to lead up the Death Troopers, which I love. That would be so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really think so. And now, since they said that last week, everything I see about Crosshair and think about Crosshair, his height, everything. I'm like, you know what? It's got to be. They have to lead into him.
The green visors on the elite troopers. You know, everything, man. It was such a I like this episode a lot because it was such a. Again, the turning point where we get to see that Empire really take control and on the important issues on how Star Wars moves forward. You know, the whole question of why wasn't there clones in the beginning, and now we're really really tying in these plot points. But yeah, Crosshair is still an enigma to me, and to a lot of people too. Like, you know, where I don't understand this full purpose because it keeps changing.
Mm-hmm.
He was dead set of killing him. Then he's dead set of having them join him, and now it's like, okay, what?
Like, how could you ever trust that? Well, then he even lets Omega go. Like I put her on our shuttle. It's better for her, better for you. What is all that?
That's right. That too. Because he knew the orbital bombardment was coming, so he was like, it's safer trust me. She needs to go. Put her on a shuttle out of here, and we'll conduct our business. Like. Is he protecting her, or was he playing Hunter? Was he empathetic to Omega? I don't get. What stood out in like episode 2 or 3 when Omega was on the ship and it was Hunter's stuff, and she even mentioned like, you know, we're gonna save it for him when he comes back and kind of.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault. So I still think I always thought of that term, but again, his behavior. And all the episodes he's been in, it's been a roller coaster. It's been weird.
Yeah, it has been weird. Because right up to she was telling him, "I know what you're gonna do. Don't do it. It's the chip. You know, it's not your fault. You know, all that stuff." And he was just so demented and twisted. And they had the shocking thing when they did that whole thing to his brain. I'm like, oh, they just made a monster. Cool.
Yeah.
And he's still a monster. Don't get me wrong. He didn't blast all them. He was about to blast Hunter too. He really doesn't care. Right. But there's that weird part that just chilled out, saved
Right.
everything we just said. It's just weird.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Next week we'll get it.
right.
She's still evil.
So Mando Mike is that it was still evil because that was our maybe Crosshair wanted her off knowing that she's she's preserving some sort of vindictive plan, and we have to save her because again, this is how this is our line talk, how it snowballs into
Right.
Darth Omega.
I'm
Darth
telling you,
Omega still
no,
lives.
it's not Darth Omega is still the armorer. 100% the armorer. Because I've gone further in my thinking if you want.
Oh no.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Lay it on us.
Because again, you got when you go up to the to their place, right, in Mandalorian, into their lair, there's a mythosaur skull. It's a family thing.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Boba Fett is the only one we know of that has a mythosaur as a sigil.
Right.
Right? It's right on the freaking door. We don't
Very
see
true.
the armorer sigil. That would be her sigil too. They're in the same clan. Right? She's obviously super strong.
She's connected.
And she's she's the leader of this pack.
Yeah.
And they have Jango's blood. Jango is a Mandalorian by being a foundling.
Right.
Yep.
They're all about foundlings. They're all foundlings because they're the clones. They're lost. Their father, all of their father, is Jango. She's going to take some clones, including Wrecker.
Yeah. As the heavy
Wrecker
Mando.
and her. Wrecker is the big Mando,
Yeah.
and she is the armorer. Put money on it now. That's it. And if it's not, Disney, make that happen because that's awesome.
Scott, why not?
I just don't think they love to tie things together as much as possible. But I just think that's a little bit of a stretch.
Too small of a world.
Yeah, too
that's
small of a world.
That's how you explain
But-
it.
but
you know
they're
what?
Mandalorian blood.
What you said
Yeah.
though is if you think about it, it's really sad. The clones, I mean, they're all the children of Jango Fett, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mandalore is really not a world they can go to. They can't go back home to Mandalore because they're all technically Mandalorian. Their other home is Kamino. Their homeworld's Kamino. It's destroyed. There are a race of beings out there that are Mandalorian without a homeworld. They've got nowhere to go.
Doable.
I like them all donning the armor and becoming Mandalorian warriors. That's
what happens.
but
when
I
drive
just
to
think
work.
Omega is not. She's not.
The armorer.
Armorer,
It'd be too
yeah.
why? She's a kid right now, and she can do almost all that stuff.
She could. It just doesn't. It doesn't feel right.
So
And she's older than all of them.
wait,
Yes.
Omega makes more sense than Wrecker because I think Wrecker would either be dead by this point or
Wrecker.
No, he's
the accelerated
he's right there.
growth.
He's wearing a blue and yellow.
Yeah, but I mean the accelerated clone and being that
Rex is alive.
Yeah,
Yeah, barely.
barely.
We saw him return. He's barely moving. I mean, he couldn't even hold his rifle up.
He was
hold
on
to it.
Endor at the shield generator. What
Yeah,
else
but
do you
like I
want?
said, he couldn't even put his rifle up. He had to bring it down here and just.
They
yeah.
were fighting. And this is Wrecker. He's enhanced. He's
That's
stronger
true.
than that. You know? That's what happened. I'm telling you, one of these days, that's what's going to happen. It's gonna.
So
if it doesn't,
Cliff
out.
mentioned earlier in the chat too about Crimson Dawn making an appearance with Maul or somebody or the beginnings of Maul or something like that in this series and whatnot. And of course, you still have Death Watches out there. So I mean, it would be awesome if they were on the run and like Chris, like trying to intertwine this storyline to make them Mandalorian somehow. You know what I mean? Like they started as Death Watch and it became was it Children of the Watch? You know, like that.
Mhm.
I mean, there's so many cool tie-ins that they absolutely could do. I don't know where Crimson Dawn is at this point.
Crimson Dawn at this point, they are. Let me see. The last time we saw Dryden Voss was in the final third to last episode of the Clone Wars in a hologram talking to Darth Maul. So at this point in time, Darth Maul is probably on his way to Dryden Voss and Crimson Dawn just to see where they're at. So they're still fully functioning. They're I don't know how.
that's season 2.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, Mando Mike says Sabine equals the armor, and he's sticking to it. And it's not the case, Mike, because the season finale of Rebels takes place after, or the final scene, the postscript scene,
the white
Rebels,
Ahsoka
the white,
and white.
cloaked Ahsoka, exactly, takes place after the Mandalorian season 2. So, and Sabine is right there with Ahsoka. So, Sabine is not the armorer.
It's Omega. I already told you, Mike.
Jesus, Mike, what's wrong with you?
Come on,
Pay
Mike.
attention. We just went through a whole thing about it. I think I repeated it 3 times.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Marco's going to leave you for somebody else. Man.
Yeah. Hey. Going back to speaking of,
let's talk. Let's take a cliff.
Yeah, I know. Sabine will definitely be in the Ahsoka series. I mean, I think that's gotta happen. Also,
Yeah.
Also, Star Wars Theory, welcome in the pit. Thank you very much, and he wishes us good luck on our YouTube career. Thank you very much, and may the force be with you too, man. Yeah. So there's a lot of bringing in the syndicates.
Mm-hmm.
Into this needs to happen. If they're not going to give us a Solo 2, if they're not going to give us a series on the syndicates or the Book of Fett maybe might, but again,
that's later though.
Yeah,
again, that's coming.
We need the syndicates post.
Correct. If they're not going to give us a Solo 2, I'm just going to put this out there to flesh out our talk a little bit. If they're not going to do that in the whole thing about it, now, could the Bad Batch season 2 moving forward, could they actually intertwine that storyline within each other?
I mean,
the answer is always yes, but
the underworld, because they're already screwing around with Sid.
They're pretty much they're in the underworld.
So Sid's the connection, and that would actually make.
And we've dealt with the Pikes already.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all there. Yeah.
Very true. Very true. Very true. So
and under the Empire, everybody's going to be running rampant. It hasn't started yet, right? They talked about it in here. Under the Empire, it's not going to be illegal to be a gangster. They're going to be able to do basically what they want, right? They're going to run wild.
But now we're into the oppression era of the Star Wars, where the syndicates are going to be suppressed. Yes,
that's right.
You know what I mean? They're really going to be again after the Empire is done. That's when they all ran rampart.
Well, they'll just go in the Outer Rim because the Empire doesn't really care about
the
Outer
Rim. There's your connection to the Outer Rim. Yeah. So. No.
And that's probably where the Bad Batch is going to have to go anyway, right? You're going to be scouring the Outer Rim to try and stay safe.
Yeah.
I would say next season, if they're doing season 2, you don't want to be just doing the same old thing. You don't want to be Sid's little bitch walking around, right?
That's what.
So I think dealing with the crime syndicate, maybe even actually having to hook up with one,
could be interesting.
Yeah,
to save their skins.
Yeah.
Again,
I don't think we're done with that Deveronian that we saw in that episode. They left it, they cut off his horn and he walked away. But
there's a reason for that.
There's a reason. We
recognize him later. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're right.
And there's another tie to the underworld right there. So
no, I really would love for this series to go into that. Really delve into that. And I since Chris has been talking about it, getting into the Mandalorian lore a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The tie and it's mainly because of the Jango Fett, Boba Fett, Omega tie-in. You know what I mean? Omega is the unaltered, the twin sister of Boba Fett. I mean,
and we talk about this little galaxy a lot and start getting mad, making it too small, and it's hard to bring back High Republic again right now, right in the middle of this. Yeah. The reason I think I'm having a hard problem with it because now the universe maybe is getting too big.
Yeah.
Now it's different aliens I'm not recognizing when they're discussing.
You're right.
And I'm like, oh man, I got to go look up what the hell alien this is. What's this person look like? If you go through any of the other first 140 characters or type species, we have them. But all these new ones they're making up or going through or digging really deep into the B list.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's the problem. They're making it too big. And the sequels, what was the problem? They didn't use so many familiar characters in the bars and stuff.
There's a balance that is not being found in the other Star Wars right now. But I do think we should talk about High Republic a little bit because I did finally finish reading that second novel.
Well, after this part,
yeah. Cliff said Omega meets Boba in season 2.
No, Alpha shows up next week.
Oh, you think Boba's in?
Alpha has to show up. There's no way. You don't name drop him then not.
You're right.
Up.
You're
before his season show starts in December.
That would make sense. That would make sense.
That's your cliffhanger.
Though there could be a flashback in the Book of Boba Fett where we meet a live action Omega.
Oh. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys one quick question before we get on.
When I met the armorer first. Is my sister.
So you have a twin sister.
Who doesn't in Star Wars? I mean, come on.
Right. Is there? And now I just want to put this question out there real fast. Is there a point where the fan service and I do kind of consider again? I know we kind of intertwine these people when we throw out names like Boba and Darth Maul and Crimson Dawn and all these people. We here at the pit is what we try to do is intertwine the story to make sense. But is there going to be a point, say this week when this episode drops, and our cliffhanger is Boba Fett?
Saying, I know how to get you guys safe. About to go to the gangsters. Right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. But is that I know Boba Fett's a direct he's a direct storyline in this story, but Darth Maul isn't. But so if they say it's Darth Maul now, I thought people will lose their minds. They'll be, oh my God, Darth Maul. But I fear that sometimes they're gonna start leaning on fan service a little bit too much just for that hurrah reaction versus a story. Now, again,
they haven't done that in this show.
No,
they haven't.
They haven't. I mean, they a little bit. I mean, the bit Fortuna, the Job of the Hutt. Yeah, exactly. Very, very little.
Small.
Because and
Cad Bane.
And here's the thing too. I contradict myself because that's been the complaint. It's like it's half the series has been kind of boring because it's just there's nothing going on. And then when they bring in Bib Fortuna, I go, whoa, So
fan service is awesome. That's what they should do. That's the whole point. Because we talked earlier, right, before the show about things, and I'm tired of judging everything and going so deep. I just want to sit there like Suicide Squad and Jungle Cruise, right? Yeah. We sat there, we smile, we laugh, we leave, we enjoy it. We don't tear it apart, right? Same kind of thing. I just want to be able to watch it and I forgot where I was going with that whole piece. I had a bigger thing going. But
fan service.
That's what I want to get. Fan service. I want fan service. I want to sit there. Thank you, Scott. I want to sit there. I want to watch Star Wars, and I want to get. Oh wow, look, there's a hammerhead. Oh look, there's this. Oh look, the blah, blah, blah. I want to see Boba Fett a bunch, and they know that. That's why Boba Fett showed up in Mandalorian. That's why he gets his own series. That's why the Mandalorian exists, because he looks like Boba Fett.
Is that why they changed Slave One to Boba Fett Starship? So there's a meaning behind it.
Maybe, and it's going to get so big they just didn't want to deal with it, right?
And if they kiss, like Cliff said, they're going to kiss the Boba Fett and Omega. So,
it's like kissing yourself, though, if it's a clone.
Star Wars is very poetic.
If it's a clone,
Loki,
if Loki does it,
if Loki can do it, then so can Boba Fett. So
no, it was just himself. He was.
That's right.
That's what it was.
It makes a whole term to go yourself. So it's
Loki's like.
Sorry, Scott. I'm sorry.
No, that's funny. It's absolutely
funny. Grabs Crocodile Loki and runs off.
That's funny stuff, dude.
No, I see the whole fan service thing, though. To me, it's not necessarily fan service. If you bring Darth Maul into it, there's a lot of dangling. Purpose, There's a dangling plot thread with Boba Fett, or not with Boba Fett. I'm sorry. Well, him too, but Darth Maul. That there's a lot of time here where it's not fan service if you fill in those gaps. You know what I mean?
By giving us what we want, Darth Maul and Boba Fett.
The Mandalorian, where it's going with Luke getting Grogu and seeing the what's coming in the future. That's not fan service. That's filling in a 30-year gap. You're gonna fill it with characters you love. You don't want them to fill it with here's Poe Dameron's childhood story. So
you're 100% right. Just like they did with Fennec.
Mm-hmm.
Cad Bane might have been the fan service because I don't think we're going to get anymore. But Fennec serves a purpose moving forward, going into the Book of Fett and that relationship. And just like Chris said, if they're going to bring in Boba Fett, then you're going to start bringing in people from his past to tie in that whole overarching story on Boba Fett that brings it full circle. Fennec is one of them. They know each other, all that stuff. So
the Fennec, the armor, everybody knows Boba Fett. So we got to get all that tied in this next episode,
or next season.
Yeah.
Bootleg Joe is in the chat, in the pit with us. Hey man, we miss you.
Talk quieter. His head's hurting.
Oh yeah, sorry. He's not feeling good. But I just wanted to give him a quick shout out that he's in the chat, listening to everybody being digested in there. I like saying that people being digested. So it's funny. It's so fun.
Makes him happy.
It makes me happy. All right. So, but no. Okay. So
do we expect a cliffhanger this next week?
Yes.
No.
And wow.
No, I don't, because if you historically in Star Wars animation, we haven't really had cliffhangers.
Right.
Usually the seasons wrap up with a nice little bow, and then the next season starts. It's a new slight time jump.
We had Ezra going dark.
Ezra with the holocron and Darth Maul.
Season 2 of Rebels ended pretty dark.
In the season itself, there wasn't really a cliffhanger ending to it, though.
I thought he was dark at the end. I thought he was like looking at the thing, talking to the holocron.
Right. Yeah, and the reflection of the red holocron.
And then they never went back to it.
Because it wasn't really a cliffhanger.
So, you're right.
But it wasn't. It was a tease cliffhanger. It was dumb.
Filoni's like, I What else do you want? He just looked
He
at
was
it.
looking at a hologram.
Cliff did say Ahsoka Vader fight to the death was a bit of a cliffhanger. It was a bit of a cliffhanger, but they walked away. It was, but it wasn't, because you saw Ahsoka walking back into the temple at the end of the episode. You knew she lived. It just took him a little while to get there to say how she lived.
And that was the last episode, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
the last episode of
He just
season
went
2.
blind too. That's right. So all the same episode we're talking about, really. All the same time frame. Yeah.
Yeah, I expect this week. All right, I at first when you said cliffhanger, I was like, yeah, definitely cliffhanger. And the only reason I say this is because I don't think, again, I might be naive. They announced season 2, so now everything is going in motion with us, right? We're thinking beyond. I don't think that we're going to get beyond this time frame. I think we're going to be still stuck in this power struggle, the Empire taking over, and the Bad Batch's intertwinings in this thing. I don't know if we go into a time jump. Then now we're getting into original trilogy stuff, and then eventually, going and that's fine too, because they could still be in the outskirts of everything else. They could still be in, we could still be doing this thing. But I just feel, like I said, with this, the way this season went, I didn't expect a season 2, and so I'm like, okay, I expect more of the same, but maybe a little bit more darker. And this, I just don't think there's going to be a time jump. I
don't think we didn't. This got announced in between episodes, right? This didn't get announced before
last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after we had our show, right? Is what I'm saying.
The season 2.
Show.
We announced. I
didn't know if I talked about my displeasure of knowing that there's going to be a season 2.
No, we did.
Before season 1 is over. Okay, because I'm still ticked about it.
Yeah,
because right now I'll be looking for a cool ending, right? And now
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like at first, not knowing it was season 2, we could have again with that whole sad ending. We could have had this really.
I was expecting death and dismemberment.
Yeah, so knowing that there's a season 2, I'm like, okay, that changes the ball game. It changes everything. Now that's why I say yes, a cliffhanger. Because they're going to drag this thing out. They're going to drag. Now, what the cliffhanger could be, I don't know. Maybe Crosshair does a 180 again. So 360 coming out. So, and now they're going to fight the Empire, or maybe maybe Omega gets kidnapped finally. I don't know. Part of me goes, there's nothing really that's going to give me chills that I'm going to stand at the edge of my seat if somebody in this group gets separated or killed off. I'm just like, okay, I don't know, man. I'm still not there.
I'd like there to be a cliffhanger, because we really haven't had one. So why not give us a cliffhanger? If you want to do something different, do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think there were cliffhangers in Clone Wars. Were there?
Clone Wars?
I guess
it bled right into each other.
Yeah. The final episode of season 7, with Ahsoka leaving everybody, all the dead clones and all that. That was kind of, we knew what was coming next. If we didn't know, it would be a cliffhanger.
Right.
But
I guess the only thing we ever had was Ahsoka just leaving. Right.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know where she was. It wasn't like the end of the world, but we never knew what happened to her until way later.
Except
call it a cliffhanger.
We got a book. There was the
eventually.
book, Ahsoka book. Yeah.
Right. Like Clone Wars.
But that wouldn't have ended her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
Season arcs.
And
that's what's weird. Well, it did, but you see, remember, this is the Clone Wars didn't have Clone Wars had arcs within the season.
Correct.
This whole thing is one arc, so that's why it's weird. That's why it's weird. 16
and
episodes.
Cliff's next comment was, "This one feels so different." It does. 100% it feels different, and it's like one of those things that's hard to predict, which is good. Which is good because, as like I said, as there's complaining and praising on both sides of this show so far. There is that different feel to it where I don't know what this week's going to bring now. Because of what that last week brought on, with the whole Crosshair doing its thing, and Kamino, again, we don't know who died in that rubble, by the way. Let's just put it this way. The bombardment, they were trapped. That's the cliffhanger, right? In between shows right now, but not seasons. The cliffhanger right now is, did everybody survive the orbital bombardment? We don't know. That's how.
That's fair. I didn't even think of that. We could have lost somebody right there.
Yeah.
Right.
And then that could
just
really
you don't.
Yeah, that could really screw up with Crosshair even more, because now he's gonna.
Yeah.
Or make him more
it's...
mad because he loses tech or somebody, right? And he's like, "That's your fault, Hunter. This is your fault. This should never have happened."
Yeah, guys, like, what if we on Friday morning, get up and out of the rubble, only like 3 people are left. Out of the Bad Batch, right? I mean,
and one of them's Omega.
It'll be Omega, Hunter, Crosshair. Those 3.
Oof. Oh,
yeah.
God, that would be brutal.
Exactly. I mean, really, what would be the real impact of losing half of your cast at the end episode of season 1?
We're not losing Wrecker, but Tech
and Echo, Tech and Echo
yeah.
I still think Echo's living on borrowed time anyway, as it is.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like.
Would they do him dirty like that?
That would suck.
Yeah,
that would really suck.
I feel though anymore. Do you get the least out of Echo? Like
I do. I don't.
I forget he's there sometimes.
Yeah, Echo.
They need him to open doors and access things.
That's his new name.
It's Milton. I'm sorry, Pitt.
We had this conversation 3 hours ago. Still not my name.
If you haven't seen Suicide Squad, catch up.
Yeah. Well, you'll understand who Milton is. It's fantastic. That's
Milton
basically
is Echo.
Echo's Milton. Forgot he was there. All right. Yeah, guys.
Oh, Milton.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, it's we heard. I don't want to throw this around, but I'm going to anyway. But we heard that. Yeah, we heard that the end is supposed to be very, very sad. So
yes,
we'll see.
Tears were shed by the
composer
of the
which
themes.
I love the fact that they used episode 2 music in this episode.
He's been, I mean, the last 3 episodes he has been on fire. It's great, it's man. Really
the
great.
Music in this is top notch.
Yeah,
Echo,
as always,
it's
last
Star
in,
Wars.
first out. Absolutely,
it's Star Wars, and this particular composer's worked on it from Clone Wars. He's worked on Rebels. He's been in the trenches the whole time. So this is for him just a continuing job. But God, he's good.
100%. Well, anyway, we're anticipating. This is, to me, this is the sweet spot in any Star Wars content. I don't care if it's like decent content or a movie or it's the second to last. We're at the verge of
the penultimate.
The finalization of something, even if it's a season or a movie. Right, we're at that where I'm the most excited to be a Star Wars fan because the talk is awesome. Where theories go rampart because once you see it, it's like, okay, it's done. We put it in its little archive, and this is what happened. Gospel. These are the Bad Batch Chronicles. I mean, this is what happened. This is real life, right? It's like this stuff happened. So right now, enjoy it. Make the week go slow for you because by Friday,
it's over.
We might get some answers. We might not. I mean, I think we might get more questions. Blah blah blah. But it's to me is the most fun part of being a Star Wars fan is right now. Right,
waiting on something to see what happens. Right,
absolutely. It's the line before going into seeing the movie.
Yeah, right? That's it. The finale of a season feels like a line.
Yeah.
See what happens.
So,
and we're all gonna be pissed off.
I'm sure we'll be disappointed. I'm sure. No, I don't know the way the last 2 episodes went. It's going to where it's like this is cool. I'm enjoying this. Right.
Just view it like Chris was saying. He viewed Suicide Squad and Jungle Book and all that. Just go into it looking for an adventure.
Oh yeah.
You'll love it.
It's better that way. Everything's been better that way. I've been watching all sorts of stuff and just not caring and just saying, you know what? Screw the internet. Screw everybody else. I'm going to enjoy what I want to enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because you see a whole lot of stuff with even I'm going to do this right now, right? Even with the Suicide Squad, you get the same fight. Oh, you see the Marvel guys jumping in and bashing on. You see the DC guys jumping in. It's just so much of that crap. You can't even enjoy it if you let yourself get consumed. So I just jump out. You know, just done. It's just so hard to enjoy it if you get involved. So again, that's why I'm off the socials for the most part. I say hi once in a while, but this is good stuff. I want to enjoy it on Thursday night and be like,
100%.
Talk to the guys about Boba Fett and the cliffhanger.
I mean, that dude. I'll be waiting.
Omega and the Bad Batch on Slave One escaping Kamino, or wherever they go.
Yeah. Do you guys think it's going to be 25 minutes, or do you think it'll be a 40-minute episode?
40. I'm for sure it's a double.
Yeah.
Okay, how about that? Isn't it really weird to have a finale part 1 of 2 and name it
did
something?
say part 1. Yeah.
Wouldn't it just be like whatever part 1? It just
they could just say Return to Kamino. Right. They could have just said Return to Kamino and that's it.
Yeah.
But it said part 1.
Yeah.
The finale part 1.
That's dumb. Of course, it's getting up there. We could have done the part 3 then. Last one could have been
exactly.
We could have had finale part 1 on episode 1.
That's something if you don't have if you don't have a season 2 in the works, that's what you do. But
yeah,
there's absolutely no information whatsoever on it. It's episode number 16. That's all they say. No time, nothing. Oh, and D. Bradley Baker's in it. Go figure.
Right.
Who's he playing?
Everybody.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was listening to Kevin Smith podcast today, and he was talking about the fact that in animation, the union, if you play over 3 characters, your salary gets bumped way up. And I'm like, this dude's playing like 20 people on the show. He's like a show of 1. I can't imagine what his paycheck must look like.
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
Yeah.
They just get paid for one job, not all the characters. That would suck. Huh?
That would suck. Yeah.
They just give you more. It's like at work. They give you more responsibility. Do I get a pay? Nope.
Nope.
You're just doing more work.
Yeah, but we're letting these guys go so you can pick up their slack. But you don't get their pay.
That's how it works.
Welcome to corporate America.
Hello.
All right, guys, I think that's it for our show today. I want to thank everybody that joined us in the pit and lit up our comment section. I want to thank everybody that lit up our like button. Like it, share it, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to. We will see you guys back next Monday when we go into the finale of The Bad Batch, of course, and any other news that breaks with Star Wars. And maybe we'll throw in a couple things that aren't Star Wars because, we do the Beyond the Pit episodes. So maybe you'll get some treats this week, and we go beyond what Star Wars is because there's Star Wars and there's everything else. We have those series to delve into, so please go back, and those are timeless. Go check those out. With that, guys, I want to thank you for joining us. Scott, if you want to lead us out, or Chris, if you have anything to add, let's go and let's get out of here.
I said my piece.
You said your piece. We'll get into some High Republic probably after the Bad Batch is over with. Let's give.
I have a plan. I have a plan for High Republic. A really good plan, a real concentrated plan for everybody that really wants spoiler and delve into what.
Do I have to put a presentation together? Do I need to do slides?
You have to relearn PowerPoint all over again.
Okay. I'm going to go work some slides out.
If you have no interest in reading High Republic whatsoever, that would be the episode for you.
Yeah, we'll read it.
We'll read it for you.
We'll read it so you don't have to.
That's right. That's a good tagline.
They're going to stop sending us books.
I know.
Never mind. We're kidding. We're kidding. Yeah,
I should not have said that.
You want them to read the books, guys.
Is my inner monologue broken? So, thanks again for joining us, everybody. You can check us out on Facebook. We've got our social media Facebook page, the Sarlacc Digest Central, where you jump on in and we just communicate with all of our friends and family and listeners and viewers and anybody who wants to talk Star Wars. Hop on in there and say hi. You can also check us out on Instagram, maybe sometime. Twitter with just look up Sarlacc Digest Podcast and we're there. I am still doing my 1-minute toy reviews on TikTok and uploading those to YouTube as well.
Awesome. They're awesome.
Thank you. I've decided I'm going to just, because I'm a one-man show on this thing. I'm just doing 5 a week. I'm going to take the weekend.
Wow.
Off and actually make things.
Wow. 5 a week. That's awesome.
I'm trying. So tomorrow's is a toy rant. You're going to love it.
Yes.
It's totally stupid first world problem. Gotta love it. Also, you check out Bootleg Joe, bootleg_760.
No, he totally changed it.
Oh, is it?
So,
he's not, yeah.
Joey, if you're in the chat, go ahead and drop your Instagram tag and then remind us what actually, because it's like, he changed it.
Is it Jedi Killer? Because I know that's what he is on TikTok.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. So
I know how in touch we are with our own people. That's awesome.
Well, it's only been the same thing for 3 freaking years, and now he's gonna go and change it on us. I mean,
I know, right? You didn't even tell us.
I didn't get a memo. And please take a minute, log on to patreon.com/Sarlacc. Sarlacc? What the hell's that? Sarlacc Digest. Sarlacc Digest Podcast, and become a patron of the show. You'll get shout outs. If you're at the $10 level, you get a cool bumper sticker that Darth Moocher's going to send out to you.
It's on its way, Vanilla Thunder.
There we go. And just shout out. And, who knows what the future may bring. We may have some guests from our Patreon list pop in every now and then.
Or maybe a Patreon show.
Ooh.
that
we
they get
go.
to pick the
We are due for that.
that
Yeah.
they could pick the topics and they
Yeah.
could run the show, and we'll be the audience.
Whoa.
I don't like that.
We'll still be online. No, we'll still run it, but I mean they'll lead the talk and stuff. So I want to
Spin the wheel, so to speak.
I
what we're
like
talking about
talking.
here.
Yeah, I like just talking Star Wars in general.
Me too.
So I
Of
mean,
course,
like, you know,
of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That
like
was one of
this
the fun
idea.
things about our episode 100 was having all of our
man.
people.
Yeah.
Our people.
It was just too
came on,
fast. So
man.
now we might do
Yeah.
like a more concentrated.
Oh, did you guys see Dom is done with his tour?
Yeah,
Dominic Pace.
Dominic Pace, you
2
did.
years running.
You
that dude went everywhere.
and he did. He's right. Like he promoted the hell out of the Gecko character, and now he's like, look, I did my part. Lucasfilm, if you want to pick it back up, it's. I mean, yeah, of course your ball is in your court anyway, but it just proves that that character could be something moving forward.
Yeah.
It really
They all,
could.
they all can. That's what we talk about, right? It's just
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
Hammerhead is ingrained. In
Oh,
our heads,
God,
right?
yeah.
Whether you call him by name or Ithorian or Maman Adam, it's Hammerhead.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Hammerhead.
You know.
Yeah,
Always.
Yeah.
And Walrus
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's exactly.
Prune face, squid head.
Exactly.
You know,
So I mean, something like Gecko, which looks more like Skunkor, or Stinkor.
Yeah,
we'll take it.
Stinkor,
but
yeah.
we'll take
Right.
Gecko. It would that fits. It totally
Yeah.
fits.
Yeah. There's room. There's tons of room.
There's
for
room.
it. Especially in Mando 3. I mean, in the Mandalorian. I mean, who took somebody could took over the guild?
Right.
Could have been him. Who knows?
We don't know how old he was. He could show up on Friday.
That's right.
He could.
And we don't.
Wouldn't
we don't
that be
even
a
know.
surprise?
Wouldn't that be dope? That's why he took off this week so he could be home for Friday. Oh man, now I'm theory crafting the shit out of.
I know,
Dom.
right?
Hey Dom, are you on Bad Batch this week?
Yeah, right.
Oh God! And then maybe the Gecko shows up and Dom wasn't there, and he's like, "Come on, guys,
Could you imagine, dude? And they
Someone
get
else voice
recasted.
him. Someone
that
else.
would be wrong."
Oh man.
So rude.
Anyway,
Right on.
that's all I got. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
All right. With that, everyone, thank you very much, and
Keep it nerdy.